Alright. Time for a Mundo game. I will be playing against a K here, which be okay matchup wise. I'm gonna get quite tanky, so he's gonna go for burst K, which is gonna make it quite hard for him to kill me eventually. He does have pretty good odds when it comes to like early game stages, but after that, not really. So that is definitely something to note here. And now we have Sion against Illaoi top lane. Top lane ganks are fairly unlikely here. I'm just gonna mostly leave my Sion be. Okay, very spicy. Gonna recall over here. You still want to get the ward and you see them pop up like that. You can just stand in the backside of this and just place the ward down. They will spot it, but they're unlikely to get enough hits in time. Especially if you surprise them with it. And then you still be able to run top. No leash needed. I'm gonna start on blue buff here. I was gonna say, like, you don't need a leash on Mundo. You're plenty fast enough. You can just go top lane. If he wants to leash, I guess, but that just gives away my position at this point. It's not necessary. And Mundo cleavers allow you to easily do this without a leash. You're going to see the damage from these cleavers just instantly shred this thing down. But yeah, this is going to be a low elo game. I'll show you how to carry with Mundo. And yeah, also for the build, there will be an in-depth explanation linked to the Patreon below, as well as other educational content there as well. Good. You can see right here, right? Like with smites, by the way, you always want to smite as late as possible because your cleavers do current HP damage, which means they do more damage the higher HP a target is. So you have to make sure that you don't smite initially on a camp ever, because you need your cleaver damage to be as high as possible for the clear speed to be good. Should hit a small one through the camp. And only cleaver the big one, really. There you go. Pick up your W, and then you just Q these, like Q the big one right here into you. Hit the E on one of the small ones, and then you just start using W. There you go. Q this in. Perfect. As you can see, the clear speed's looking very good right now. Hit the big one there. Slightly badly positioned, I suppose. There we go. On at 305 or thereabouts. Could be slightly faster still, but this is all good. Caitlyn ended up getting first blood on bot lane. We max Q first. Go for the scuttle on spawn here. As I could check as blue, but he's most likely gonna have started there, so it's all good. Yep. So we just take this, and then after this point, we don't have a bot lane gank option, so we pretty much just instantly recall and go for top lane. Illaoi is at this moment pushing under the turret, so this might be a potential top option for the gank. And we're just gonna ping like danger ping here. So we let our team know where the K is, and then we just move on, basically. Double health crystal here, and I'll see if we can run up here. Because right now, the only realistic gank option I have, Victor is pushed in, their bot lane is pushed in, so both of those are not happening. So the only one I really have is top lane, so you just instantly reset for that, see if that's possible. If it's not possible, it's fine, but it looks pretty likely right now. Otherwise, these camps will be respawning, so I could just do those once again. But with the top current position, I will definitely try this. Let's move up. Try to dance around her a little bit for her to miss, hopefully. Perfect. Lethal tempo coming in there as well for the extra clear speed on that. The ghost allow me to chase with. Right here, I just kind of want to help him push out the wave, basically. He gets everything. That's perfectly good with me. I don't need anything of that wave. I just want to help him push it. I think it was slightly slow because he didn't want to push it in instantly. He should still be fine. He has teleport regardless. He gets the entire wave, so no issues for him really. Just time to finish my next clear now, basically, and then we should be good. Good top lane situation there. That gank was pretty much free. Because of, well, you know, I went for it with her positioning right there, and instead of going for anything else, because that was the only option I really had on the map. The clear tempo going for the most part. There's a small chance here that I would have lost any of my bot side camps. It is possible. If the Ka would have went for those like while I went top lane, which he didn't, but it is definitely possible. There we go. Finish the clear here, and then we can look for a recall once again, and then we have like a pretty good double full clear sequence, right, with a nice gank in between as an option there. Okay, nothing else going on right now. I'm like half HP. I have like 1,000 gold that I just want to spend at the moment, so I'm definitely just gonna go reset. Pick up the pickaxe here. We're rushing Titanic Hydra because we are doing lethal tempo Mundo. If I am not doing lethal tempo Mundo, if I'm going to fleet Mundo, then I'd recommend rushing Sunfire instead. But I think that build's also worse for the most part, so I wouldn't really recommend it as much. And now blue should hit me level 6, which could then allow me to go gank the Alawi. I do have to keep Alawi ult in mind at this moment in time, and my Silence still hasn't recalled yet. So there's definitely a little bit of a sketchy situation by going top here, potentially. I'm not saying it's not possible, it's just a little wonky maybe. Gonna look for it though. We are both very tanky. She hasn't warded, or her ward disappeared, I suppose. I just need Sion to like go for this. Need an ult, basically. Thank you. Should have sidestepped that, because she was obviously going to throw that at me. You need to play as safe as possible into the Alawi, and I just need the Sion to see, like, land his CC first, basically. So, like, I'm waiting at maximum distance the entire time until that Sion decides that he wants to press ultimate and CC him, or Q him, or whatever, like, anything. Because within that time frame, I'll then have the option to walk up, and then I can do something about it, right? But without that, like, I don't really want to walk into Alawi as close as, like, range as possible, because it reduces my chances of actually dodging the, dodging that tentacle thing, right? And then when I get hit by that, she just ults and she deletes us both, basically. So I do have to be very careful with that situation. Alright, so the Rift Herald spawns here. We're just going to instantly go for that, because especially we see the Ka bot. I kind of figured he was bot lane anyway, but we definitely go for the Rift Herald here. If you get hit by the dash from the Rift Herald, it does proc your passive. So you do have to be slightly careful, especially if you feel a little bit more threatened, but you can use it for a little bit of HP otherwise. Yeah, we do the Rift Herald here. Focusing on the Rift Herald on spawn is very important. This is always something that's worth doing, so I would always recommend it. He still has a Laui ultimate, actually. This might not be a good call. Yeah, he has a good point. I'm not doing that. Without Sion ultimate and with Alawi ultimate up, it's very, very risky to do that. I was recently bot side, so we can see if we can quickly snipe his red out still. There's a slight detour, but with the cleavers, as you can see, this is really fast, so should be able to quickly yoink this, hopefully. And just that, I'm not going to stick around too much longer. Gonna, I guess, pop a ghost here and see what happens. Very nice. I think I just hit turret here and just get all the plate gold I can. Okay, that's a low HP Ka. I do still have my ultimate, so there is that, but check out this wave right now. Take the money. Like, as long as you can get like enough plate gold off the Herald, it's worth it. You get like several plates here. This plate should also still be doable if Zed hits it. Perfect. Split some money with my Zed there. It's all good. And then here I'm just going to reset. I could technically clear all my bot side camps right now, but I have a lot of gold, which finishes my Titanic, which makes me a lot stronger. So I definitely want to go finish that up. And then we're just going to build towards steel caps next. I'm actually gonna go up here first instead of going into my bot side first, because I can clear these two camps, then get the scuttle respawn, and then focus on like bot side afterwards. Focusing more towards playing for the dragon at this moment in time, because this is a pretty low on cooldown. I'm gonna kind of play away from the Illaoi instead of towards the Illaoi by like starting bot side and clearing up, because I clear away from dragon towards Illaoi, which is an unlikely gank. And yeah, also the scuttle spawn here. There we go. And don't really want to go for this guy. Honestly, I'm just going to let my silence chill for the rest of this game. Those 2 kills should be fine. Because Illaoi ult's very scary stuff. Do a gank for, basically. Get that. Right, let's finish all my camps here. Clearing this down, and then we can look for like bot lane ganks more so, because they definitely need some help. They are dying quite a bit. Seems that I am getting flame pinged by my bot lane as well. Well, Ka has done absolutely nothing there, basically. Lovely stuff. I just want you to ignore these types of things. They don't matter. They really just don't. Like, your lane's might int, it's okay. Finish the clear here, and we hit level 9, and we can look for that dragon, potentially, maybe a bot gank. If my bot lane doesn't perma push that in, that'd be great. Oh, they did do dragon, okay. Finish him off. I don't know if I can catch the misfortune with that one. Good damage. Are we gonna dive this, or hello? Where is my LeBlanc positioning herself? Like, that's just crazy, isn't it? Why doesn't she just like walk forward with me? I can like tank turret with Hilt potentially and go in, but all right then. I suppose. But LeBlanc was just kind of standing on the side there for no reason, because all she really has to do to finish Misfortune there is just like double dash, and she's dead. Hit that. Oh, that's good enough. Ooh, my passive was okay. Very glad I pressed ult preemptively. I didn't actually think I would need the ult, so I was like, meh, maybe I shouldn't ult it here. But because my passive was actually on cooldown, that ult was very good. Because otherwise I would have been very dead. That's Victor flash down though. This is good. I feel like the bot lane, like that Misfortune, probably should have died. We at least got the Ka, which is good, right? So that's fine. But I feel like the Misfortune shouldn't have survived as long as the LeBlanc would have probably dashed forward. But it's okay. Gonna have another clear to go for now, so it's all good. Make sure to keep up like some clear tempo. Mundo definitely needs it. Kind of like maybe focus on getting another bot lane gank off. I do have a Rift Herald in 1 minute, about thereabouts. So what I'm looking at now is just finishing this full clear, then resetting and playing for the next Rift Herald, basically. Because within that time frame, I should be able to get there, and we should be able to move from there. Oh, also another thing to mention. A majority of people who watch my videos daily aren't actually subscribed. So if you do enjoy my content, it would be great if you'd consider subscribing. Or I suppose if you're new as well, consider subscribing. That would be very, very nice. Oh, pretty far walked up from bot there. I should go bot lane here as well. I mean, Zed's probably going to get the good flank, and I'm probably not going to reach anything here. Nope. Caitlyn gets the shutdown. I don't want to like waste my time walking in there either. If you're wondering why, it's simply because of that Rift Herald respawn. Because if I show too long on bot side here, it's just not going to be good for me. Because right here, I should just reset and play for this spawn. If I reset now, I'll make it to fight the Ka on it. Which he didn't choose to go for that, but it would have been a definite possibility. So actually resetting and getting to the objective in time instead of walking up here where I really wouldn't have been able to do anything because my Zed got the rotation. And yeah, that is just not worth it, right? I might be able to just sprint top lane first here because this is looking like a pretty good situation actually. We have the Sion ultimate. He didn't land that one, which he did. Maybe shouldn't have smited that one actually, but I feel like it's fine because the Rift Herald's gonna get smited anyway. Shove that in so he gets the instantly completely free reset if he wants to go for it. Also, I kind of want the top lane priority going into the potential Herald here. I'm not going to lose my passive this time around, so I walk away from the Rift Herald there, so I don't get hit by the dash. Lost bot turret, okay. Finish off the Herald here, good. Then we have our blue smite finished now. Top lane gank here is not going to happen. So we're just going to look at the camp respawn timer and also the dragon respawn timer coming up in about 50 seconds. So I can just clear down now and then look for that dragon respawn timer. Basically, that's what I'm going to do. Get all my camps here and then get the dragon. And after that, we might be able to look for like bot lane when they walk up. Especially if they walk up now with the turret gone. This would be a good position for us to get that done. Might have to run mid here. Yep. Auto attack him down. And LeBlanc ends up getting him as well. Pop the Herald. So we can get mid turret. Just gonna get the Herald to get the bounce on this. Still have my passive, so Lux can't snare me. So she's forced to flash basically. Get a second bounce, and that's really all I cared about. That's very good. And now I just go straight dragon, which I think I should be able to do regardless here. Slightly worried about my team's position on the map right now. Got hit by the knock-up, which is actually quite bad. LeBlanc is just AFK chilling on bot lane, unfortunately. That's a little bit of a problem. Got my smite. Got hit by that. Walk past, focus on like Misfortune and Lux here. She comes in for the absolute kill steal, and that's all she does. Okay. Lethal Temper should allow me to get him. Nope, it didn't. She still has LeBlanc ultimate, and she's nearly full HP. That's unlucky. That's out of my control, though. Like if my teammate wants to troll like that, it is what it is. The overall good thing there, though, is that I definitely got the dragon. I did lose a colossal shutdown, but I don't think we realistically should have lost the fight the way we did. But again, that is out of my control. As long as I get the objective, I guess it's not too bad. Alright, out of base here, we can just focus on my bot side camps and then play from there. Like all my top lane camps, top side camps will also respawn. I have no longer a dragon to play for either. I did give the shutdown to the Ka, so he definitely has a bit of money now. But then again, his build's not that big of a threat to me because he's never really going to kill me. So it is what it is. Yeah, it's definitely there. It's just a situation of like, yeah, sure, you know, your teammates are just AFK. Like, LeBlanc was just chilling on bot lane, didn't play the fight, like, at all, really, because she still had full HP and ult left over. And those things will happen in low elo. It's just a matter of realizing those things and then, like, kind of accepting them, I guess. Also playing around that situation as well. Like, expecting your teammates to do nothing, basically. Someone needs to pick up the red buff. Anybody? Ooh, Ka. Thank you for the blue buff, buddy. Look at my damage output, by the way. Like, I'm destroying this guy. Passive does nothing. We just smite him out. Or with a passive, the Lux Q does nothing, is what I'm saying. So we just run at him. That's why I just kept walking at him without, like any type of mind to dodge it. We just walked up here. Because Ilaoi doesn't have a turret right now, so this is just a free play. If she ults, it doesn't matter. Because there's no way she deals enough damage to me anyway. And I can just ult myself, right? Very good. I'm getting slightly heavy on the assists here, but I suppose it's fine. Got top scuttle on the respawn right now. You can look at that Baron as well relatively soon. I have 12 out of 17 kill participation, which is really good. Like, why? Well, Zed is just like... He just doesn't want blue buff? Crazy. Okay, then. I guess the blue buff just disappeared now. Very sad. Yeah, this is actually 1500 gold, so I'll just go recall right now. Now for your mythic, you might be wondering, why are you building Radiant? It's the only good mythic on Mundo jungle. Like, the only one that's really good. Because it still provides you with a lot of HP. Provides you with extra regeneration, provides your team with regeneration, which is just really good. Yes, it did get nerfed, but for Mundo, this is still by far the best option. Because going hardstyle on Mundo jungle is absolutely useless. You don't get enough stacks for it to be valuable enough, for it to be good enough. That makes sense. So the item is just not worth it. And that's why you take the Radiant instead. You can kind of build Radiant whenever. So you can build it like the moment, third item, which is completely fine. I'm just going to wait for Sion. It's all good. Poke him down with cleavers a little bit. Wait for my Zed, wait for my Sion. You know, run at Lux and kill Lux first. Flash, that's fine. Pop ult now. We want to pop ult like kind of when you get a little bit lower on health for the most part. You don't want to like pop it right away, because that's not worth it. But yeah, there we go. Do Baron. Just tell your team to come Baron spamming enough. And just start hitting it down. My smite should be up in time, and the dragon's gonna be up after this. Like, I can clear this and reset and go for dragon, basically. You can see, like, I can tank a lot of damage with the Radiant there. You just have to make sure you use it and you actually get potential healing out of it. Okay. Pick that up, instantly reset, and then we play for this. I do need some magic resist here, so we're just going to go for the Spirit Visage next. Spirit Visage is obviously a really good item on Mundo, because it increases healing and it gives you magic resist, so it's definitely your go-to option for that. Level 16 is relatively close here, so that would be kind of nice to look for. I don't have my smite for like an extra 60 seconds, so kind of rushing into the dragon could be a little bit problematic here potentially, because the Ka could just smite steal it. I'm just gonna see if I can like look for this or something. LeBlanc wants to actually go for the snare, which he didn't. Ooh, that's an Alawi. Very nice. Good kill. Oh. He didn't walk up. Kind of looked like he was gonna walk forward, but I'm just gonna go dragon now. This moment in time, the dragon is uncontested. Ka ran into his topside jungle. I don't have to risk or like be scared of a smite steal at this point anymore. So we can kind of just get at it. Good. Now at this point in the game, instead of like kind of taking my own camps, the more camps I can take from the Ka, the better it's gonna be. I want as many camps from this Ka as possible, basically. Level 16, that's good. That's kind of what I was hoping for before I go in on this. LeBlanc gets the kill. Fine. Don't press your ult too early is definitely what I want to say. Like, in that situation, definitely make sure you just don't press ult. Because it's actually quite valuable that way. Yep. Yep. Gonna walk at his jungle camps. I want to take as much as possible. He is currently spotted right there. He's gonna walk here, right here. He is absolutely outrunning me any day of the week. But that's okay. He ran this way. Gonna make sure I check. Oh, no, he walked that way. Which he gets cut off by my team, so I don't have to worry about too much. He's just dead now. There you go. The red buff here. The Spirit Visage finish would be very ideal. 500 gold. Blanks in base, that's base, and Kate's dead. I'm not playing really forward here because my team is kind of low / dead / in base. So there's no real point in walking up right now. Necessarily, like there's not much to gain. That makes sense. I can just clear this. Someone needs to take red. I'm just gonna go clear my entire top side here as well. Why are you taking my camp here? What is this? What is going on here? I'm not gonna allow that, basically. He's trying to last hit that for no reason now. Just pick up the blue, my boy. Very interesting. Okay. I have enough money for the Spirit Visit, so I'm just gonna go buy it. And then after that, we can basically just run into the enemy team. 1v5 and we'll be fine. I can get one control right here for the potential Baron spawn. And I'm gonna walk up into cast camps as much as possible here. I mean, I've already done plenty, right? Like, I have 16 KP out of 24. I set up my entire team. And they're, like, kind of reaping the benefits right now by getting some kills themselves, which is obviously good. I am about, like, what is that? 60 CS up on Ka. It's really solid as well. Ka's dead. So we are walking forward into his jungle, and we take everything we can. We see them walk up the bot lane here, so we're just gonna walk at Lux. He missed. Gonna pop Ghost here, so I have the Ghost extension going at Victor. Finish him off. Don't have to ult yet. As you can see, I'm kind of chilling. Not a problem whatsoever. Good. I pop Ghost there right before I kill somebody, basically, because that extends your Ghost instantly, which is just going to give you a very long Ghost duration. Should allow you to easily, like, chase things out. If there would be more people showing up, I could chase those as well. Finish this off, push the mid wave. Get this under turret, hit the turret. They will not be able to do anything about this. I still have my ult as well, so we can just kind of run them down anyway. By the way, for the rune here, you can... I'm not worried about your damage. You can see here, like, my thingy, my thing here, my overheal has shielded me for about 4,500, which is quite a lot. So it's definitely something you can decide to pick up over Triumph. It just kind of depends on what you like, really. Flashed. Don't do anything about the flash, sadly. Gonna walk at the Lux here. Still have my passive, so she can't do anything about it. This one we just ult. Walk him down. There's nothing he can do. There we go. Walk at his red buff to pick this up as well, and then I can look to reset, play for the dragon spawn timer in about 30 seconds, or the Baron spawn timer in about 20 seconds, which is both fine. I'm gonna place that because otherwise it's a wasted inventory slot. Take some healing reduction now. I guess I can play with an elixir of iron as well here. You want the elixir of iron, by the way, because it gives you extra HP, which adds in like extra damage. Its HP scales well with Mundo. And it gives you a nice bit of extra tenacity if you might need it. But it's better than any of the other options, basically. So it's going to do this. I'm going to do Dragon. We're going to take Baron, and we can end the game with that. We might be able to end the game without both of those, but it's pretty free, so you might as well. Or at least the Dragon. I guess the Baron isn't as necessary, but I just don't want the Dragon to be taken here when it's just like something I can do while walking up. There we go. I mean, my team is kind of going for it. I can just walk at them. I kind of have to wait for my ult cooldown. Mostly, that's like the only thing I really have to wait for. I think realistically, we should just go Baron and then end. But if my team wants to endlessly siege, I guess it's possible. I can kind of force it out regardless. Like tanking double turrets and stuff is not the worst thing in the world. That's one. Still kind of waiting for my ult cooldown before I go for it fully. Don't want to lose that thing right there. I'm just gonna do this. Two. That's kind of over, right? It's kind of a laughable situation here. I'm just way too tanky. And there we go. That is game. Lost item Thornmill here, and we are chilling. Yeah. 2100, 3000, extra bonus healing for 1000. Here, some healing as well. Not too bad. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the endgame stats. Alright, so for the endgame stats here, I ended up doing 35k damage, let's say, which is nearly double the rest of my team. My Sion did nothing and my Caitlyn did nothing damage-wise. I guess Zed and LeBlanc came relatively close, but you can clearly see, like, I'm just hard chilling, right? At some point, you can just walk at them as Mundo and they just don't kill you anymore. And that consistent farming pace that I had also made me level 18 very, very quickly compared to the enemy jungler. So the out-farming situation there is a possibility too. Because if you look here, right, I had 273 compared to his 165. And I was 5 levels ahead of him. And this was mostly because of the like pressure that I just started walking forward and getting things done there. Let me... True damage here, 1500. Damage to objectives at 65k, so definitely focus on that, making sure to pick up every one of those objectives whenever possible. He did end up getting the first dragon, so he got that one, but for the rest I got most of them. Then healing done at 35k. Honestly, Mundo healing is just very significantly high, so this is not unexpected. We have damage taken as well at 41.4, which is like more than double the rest of my team, obviously as well, stacking on top of that the damage that I did too. And then we have self-mitigated for another 53k as well, so I took by far the most damage and also dealt by far the most damage, which is just kind of a good carry situation on my end, really. But all of this is pretty easy with Mundo for the most part, as you saw. I just run it and press Q, press E for all, like auto attack resets, and you're kind of chilling. Lethal tempo, decent uptime, can be much higher uptime if there's a lot more like brawls going on, especially mid to late game team fights that might happen if you are slightly, like if you're not this far, like if you're not ahead, like didn't get your team ahead, I guess you could call it as well. And the mid to late game fights would be slightly more equal, then this lethal tempo uptime is going to go through the roof. Overheal for about 7,000 shielding, which is insane. So definitely a solid rune on Mundo. You have a lot of built-in healing, and then if you, especially if you pop your ult relatively early, and your ult with the Radiant will overheal you really quickly into the maximum HP category, then you'll start getting a lot of shielding potential out of it still, which is quite nice. So this allows you to potentially pop a slightly earlier ult as well, so you don't waste any health in the process, because you're going to get the shield regardless, and that's quite nice. Then we have the alacrity for the attack speed, and then we take Last Stand for the extra damage. Now, Last Stand only did 241 here, because I never really got that low, but I still prefer having Last Stand over something like Coup de Grace, because of the fact that you want those extra damage numbers, especially early game in low HP situations. Because the lower HP you get, the more damage you'd want to be able to win clutch fights. And then whenever you are ahead, doing slightly more damage with Coup de Grace won't matter as much. So the damage difference when you're getting low HP in closer fights is more significant in my opinion. That's why I take the Last Stand, even though Coup de Grace definitely would have done more damage for me in this game. Overheal can also be replaced with just Triumph, by the way. Like, regenerating missing HP on Mundo is never a bad thing. Both of them are good. I just wanted to show you a little of a variation here with a new overheal compared to Triumph that I would run in the past. And then here we have Approach Velocity. This is a pretty key rune because this allows you to like get people or chase people down with your cleavers. So you just hit them with cleaver, walk at them with the Approach Velocity, movement speed increase, and you can kind of just stick with them, especially if you have red buff. It'll be very difficult for them to get away from you. And then if they do end up doing something, you can always press Ghost and make it even more difficult on them. But yeah, that is it for Mundo. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If it is, make sure to hit the like button below. And I will see you guys tomorrow with another one. Bye.